Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spoiler alert.
Too soon.
Well,
Too soon.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Mike Reviews. I'm joined today with Chris DeLauro.
Hey, how's it going?
And Phil Carpenter.
Hello.
And we just saw Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spoiler alert.
Too soon.
Well,
Too soon.
Spider-Man No Way Home, I thought it was great. All three of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies I thought came out very well. I really did love all the Doctor Strange stuff the most. If I had to pick like the second act with the Doctor Strange fights was some of the best special effects, graphics, all sorts of fun visualizations. That was some of the best stuff I've ever seen like in any movie ever.
I always do this with like movies that are like really hyped. Like it was nice to watch like Dune per se, because like I had no idea what it was going to be like going into it, and then it was truly amazing, and I had real high expectations for this. So I wouldn't say I was like underwhelmed. It kind of like met it, but it kind of like deflated me a little bit.
Yeah, well that's when they put so many advertisements out for it and so many clips that you basically know what's going to happen in the movie already.
Yeah, and
you're not surprised by anything.
It was genuinely good, and the Doctor Strange parts were amazing.
Yes,
especially like the cinematics like in the middle of the film. I thought were like my favorite.
Easily the best part of the movie.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, really good.
Phil, thoughts overall? Spoiler free.
I was totally wrong on a lot of things. From watching the previews, I kept trying to guess what's going to happen, and I was completely wrong.
Let's get to those details in the spoiler section. I do want to come back to that because I do want to know what you thought was going to happen and what happened instead.
All right. I think it was fun for me because I've been watching these Spider-Man movies for a while now. I love that all the characters came back and came together. Yeah. We should have got more Williem Dafoe in this movie.
He was hands down the best actor in the entire movie, in my opinion.
You know what? I completely agree. Williem Dafoe was single-handedly the best character of the entire movie. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll go into spoilers now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He fucking killed it. I would watch a whole movie of just him wrecking havoc, doing whatever. He was outstanding. Loved every second he was on screen. His
laugh was like chilling.
And his facial expressions were totally different too, and like kind of gave me the creeps at some points. I was like, "Holy crap!"
Like when Holland was punching him, and every punch he's got a bigger like Joker smile, and it's just like
Jared Leto. Learn how to be a Joker, dude.
No, we don't want any more Jared Leto. He doesn't need any lessons. We just need to get him out of there. And God, give Willem Dafoe Joker.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm trying to say, man. He freaked me out at one point.
2008, right?
Got it.
I remember the day that we found out that Heath Ledger died, and me and Mike both looked at each other. I was like, that's kind of sad, but is Batman done?
Oh, man. Yeah. I was very much looking forward to Batman or The Dark Knight.
Which he killed it. Moral of the story is Williem Dafoe would have been a good Joker. You know, that's all I was trying to say.
Still can be, apparently, because he fucking nailed the role again. Every time he was not on screen, I wanted to see more of him.
Yeah.
And knowing that like they're kind of building up to be like the big bad guy, you know, when they're doing the fight with everybody else at the Statue of Liberty, I'm like, oh, they're saving the best for last, and I mean,
they did.
Yeah, they did, and it was great.
Worst actor in the movie was Tobey Maguire, by far, right?
Okay, yeah. So let's go through this. Favorite Spider-Man, Chris, go.
Oh, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
For sure.
I would agree.
Easy.
Tom Holland. Favorite Spider-Man, best Spider-Man performance in this movie.
Oh, in this movie?
Yeah.
It's definitely not Tobey Maguire. Fuck you.
Andrew Garfield.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding. Tom Holland.
Okay. Best Spider-Man overall.
Tom Holland.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Tobey Maguire all day, every day, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Holland hasn't had a bad Spider-Man movie. So
you're right, but
he's done just as many as
Tom Holland is getting hoisted on the shoulders of giants, and by giant I mean the small person Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire was the man.
Tom Holland is a great Spider-Man, and I love him as it, and I want him to do more.
Me too.
He really is, because he's the happy medium. Like, that's what totally happened. Like, Tobey Maguire was too much of a fucking nerd. Andrew Garfield was way too cool.
But Peter Parker is a nerd.
I know, but like he's in the middle though, kind of. Like in the comic books, like he is a nerd, but then he like kind of transcends that.
Yeah.
which Tobey Maguire didn't do. He was just a nerd.
True.
And I would say Andrew Garfield is the worst Spider-Man. I hate him as Spider-Man. He's too much of like a model, male model, and it's like, oh, I did science and stuff. Yeah, the fucking hair, dude. Come on, stop it, man. Your hair's not gonna look like that with the fucking after you take the mask off.
Not
you
if
idiot.
you're doing science.
Listen, I didn't actually hate Andrew Garfield as much as you guys did.
Chris and I were talking on the way to the movie, and I'm like, look, I was one of the few that defended Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I actually really liked those movies, and then I saw somebody critique those two movies on YouTube and compare them to the original Spider-Mans, and I was like, you know what, I was wrong, and anybody else who likes those movies is also wrong. I've watched Spider-Man 1 and 2 probably a dozen times, but how many times did you watch the other Spider-Man with fucking Garfield in it?
I mean,
Just the once, right?
no, actually, I've watched it a couple times.
Okay, so whatever. Hashtag not my Spider-Man. All right. Let's talk about Tobey Maguire now. How old is he? Guess by what we saw in the movie.
Oh,
I'm gonna say 48.
I was gonna say mid-40s. Oh my God, do you think that's why Andrew Garfield cried so much? Because he's midlife crisis Spider-Man.
No, I think
Oh my God.
I think Andrew Garfield cried so much because he's upset that he completely fucked himself out of being like in these Spider-Man movies, like right
For
when
the
the going,
Avengers? Yeah.
right when the getting was getting good. Because you heard about Andrew Garfield. What, like when it was his move when he was doing the movies, he was a complete prick to everyone, and he had to do like promos. And you see
Yeah.
Tom Holland doing all the promos, and he's,
Just chilling.
charming, he's happy, he's fun. And Andrew Garfield would show up late with sunglasses and be like, ugh, look, I don't want to do this. You're like, dude, the fucking CEO of Sony is here with all of like his high up investors, and they just want you to come out, shake a few hands.
Spider-Man.
And he's just like, you know what? I don't want to do it. I'm Spider-Man. I don't give a fuck. And then they're like, you know what? Fucking cut this guy. Get this motherfucker out of here. Tobey Maguire is 46 years old.
Wow. He looked like gaunt, like a ghostly crypt keeper. His cheekbones were sunken in. He looked like a skeleton. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I expected him to look a little older.
Spider-Man came out 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That's 2001.
And I
Right
guess,
before the World Trade Center went down is when they filmed it.
Yeah, because it was in
Oh
the
yeah, because they
movie.
had a promo of it with
Yeah.
him hanging on the.
Yep, and they had to edit it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like 25, 26-ish.
I
And
guess not.
Nickelback was actually still a good band.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. No, let's
No,
not
wait,
say
I'm
things
sorry,
we
not a
can't
good
take.
band.
Nickelback has never been a good band.
hero to save us.
People just didn't realize Nickelback was so terrible at that time.
True. Can we do a little segment here?
Absolutely.
All right, so every Spider-Man has a very touching story, and they all have a little sobbing cry. I would like to see all of our crying facials here.
We're
like,
gonna-
If we can all do a cry. Oh boy. Okay. So, all right, Phil. We're gonna save you for last because you're the most practiced, I think. Okay.
He's already doing it.
I already have my
Look at
tears.
his
Wait,
eye.
Okay. You know what? No.
let me
Go ahead.
let me go first.
Yeah, go for it. You got it going. All right. Your uncle just died. He just gave you some words of advice and said you gotta be strong, Phil. And oh my God, that's a real tear right there. That is a real tear. I can't do that. God damn.
We
God
literally
damn.
talked about it in the car right here. I was like, we gotta tell Phil to cry.
We didn't even have to incite it. Phil had that locked and loaded. Uncle Ben. Aunt May. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Okay,
he
so
looks really sad. That's funny because he's not.
okay. All right, I'll try mine. All right, Uncle Ben, I couldn't save you. No, Uncle Ben.
All right, I think I'm gonna take mine from Darth Vader from Star Wars.
All right. Your dad left you.
No.
Okay, well, Phil's obviously the winner on that one. I'm still fairly impressed with that. I mean,
You never knew that?
he was explaining it to me in the car, and I'm like, I don't think I've seen you cry before, but I don't think I ever knew that it was like on command. I just thought you were always just sad about stuff.
No. I told him it was Oscar-worthy performance.
That
and
was
I don't think he
solid.
believed me.
That was
I don't think
solid.
he believed me.
But every Spider-Man had at least 5 full minutes of uninterrupted crying.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know, your Uncle Ben. Also, your Uncle Ben. Yeah, and Aunt May now died. Okay, they all died, but like, can we expedite this a little bit, please?
I was just telling someone today at work that that my buddy Mike has like more footage than I'm comfortable with of me in a dress.
Yeah. Would you recommend this movie?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great movie. It's a good watch. It's top 3 Marvel movie.
I would say the same thing. Yeah, I would absolutely recommend it, Phil.
Oh, 100%.
What was it that you thought was going to happen that happened differently, Phil?
Well, I thought Ned was gonna die.
Damn.
Okay.
But now he's just gonna be the next Doctor Strange, Fat Strange, if you will.
Fat Strange.
Fat Strange. He's actually super skinny now. Well, the reason I thought he was gonna be a villain in this movie because he lost a lot of weight. So I thought it was like.
So they got him on the Marvel exercise plan.
Yeah, or something.
So that he can show up and be like, I'm bad because I got abs now.
So I thought they were both gonna fall, and he was only gonna be able to save.
He was
one.
gonna have to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen.
It's a Spider-Man movie, so Mary Jane's gonna get thrown off a building at some point, and Spider-Man's gonna have to dive after her, right? It's literally every Spider-Man since the dawn of time.
So when the other Spider-Man showed up, when he talked about how he couldn't save everybody, I was like, oh God, Andrew Garfield's gonna be the one that catches MJ.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought as soon as he said that, and he was like, oh God. And I was
Well,
like, oh, fuck, I'm wrong.
As soon as you saw like Aunt May die, that kind of ruins. Like, I would never think like, oh, Ned's gonna die or MJ's gonna die.
Yeah, right.
No,
They get
can't
one
do
kill.
both. Yeah, they can't do it all.
In fact, yeah. To add to that, after Aunt May died, I'm like, oh, okay, now none of the other Spider-Men are gonna die.
Yeah, no more sad times.
Right. So when
They could have killed Tobey, I wouldn't have been upset.
I thought like Tobey.
I thought one of them was gonna die.
Yeah, I thought one of them was gonna die too. But Aunt May died, so is he really gonna die?
Right?
Yeah.
And so when he's sitting there after getting stabbed by Goblin, you're like, oh man, well this is actually pretty good for old man Spider-Man to die this way, like teaching the younger Spider-Man to not be a victim of his rage. And then he's like, oh, we're getting phased out of here. I'm better now. I can stand on my own. It's just
Later.
It's nothing. I get stabbed all the time, guys.
They already signed on Tom Holland for 3 more Spider-Mans. So like, are they gonna make a separate Miles Morales
yeah, that's
Spider-Man
a
movie,
different.
or
Yeah, it's a different character.
It's a different universe, but can they really float having 2 at once? They definitely can. That was the most packed movie theater I guess I've seen since COVID. Honestly, that might be the best Spider-Man movie.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I forgot to like put that into the equation.
It's hard. It's hard because like I
so
agree
good.
because Nicolas Cage is in it.
Well, yeah. So overall, very, very good experience with the movie. I did love it. I didn't love some of the longer scenes that sort of dragged on. I didn't like the amount of crying that took place, but I'll let it go because the rest of it made up for it.
I didn't like that girl behind us that kept yelling shit. Phil wanted to talk about
Oh
it.
my
She was so
God.
So
Get him, Spider-Man!
okay.
Get him!
Okay,
Oh my God.
during the movie, like I was cracking a few jokes, like just to Chris, and I don't know Phil if you could have heard them because it was you were
I did
listening
laugh
over.
at a couple.
Yeah.
Now
And he kept
my
burping.
jokes weren't necessarily funny, but
And not super loud as like hers.
but yeah, and I am all for supporting people shouting at the screen. I supported her in that way. But I really wanted to say, hey, bitch, listen, if you're going to shout stuff at the screen, at least try and make it fun or funny.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like, and what did she say most, like every 10 minutes? You go, Spider-Man.
You go,
Get him,
Spidey.
Spider-Man.
You go, Spidey.
No, my favorite one was like when Andrew Garfield finally showed up and she was like, not on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
my
that was
God.
no
so
one
dumb.
laughed.
That was
No,
so
well,
dumb.
no one laughed at hardly anything she said.
Yeah, and I was.
But like after like the 5th
I was like, what
thing
the
she
hell does
said,
that
she
mean?
kind of got a chuckle, and I'm like, oh, that's just now she's not gonna stop ever.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield shows up the first time, and then everyone cheered.
I still don't know what the fuck he said. He
I
said
don't know
something
what he
and we
said.
don't know what he said because everybody
was
was like,
clapping.
oh my God, Andrew Garfield's here.
Yeah, I didn't expect this at all. It wasn't the worst kept secret in Hollywood. And then like 2 minutes later, Tobey Maguire, so the same thing. It's like, oh, okay, we know.
This one dude that I work with was like, hey, I know a couple secrets about this movie. I was
Really?
like, oh, okay, what are they? And he was like, Toby's in it. The other Spider-Man show up. And I was like, shut the fuck
No,
up.
where did you hear this?
Yeah. He was like, you didn't see the lizard get punched by a invisible.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like,
Proof.
what?
Well, that's a good note to end on. So yeah, that'll wrap up this episode unless we had anything else.
Fuck Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, well, fuck old Tobey Maguire. I like
What?
young Tobey
Man,
Maguire.
man.
Yeah, he was
All right,
okay.
See you, Chris.
All right, Chris is just leaving. He's out of here.